It was cruel. Victims Harry and Meghan cried helplessly as Charles snubbed the Sussexes on his birthday. Hello, with all the regal splendor, we warmly welcome you to the Princess Diana News channel. Now, let's get to the video. Next Tuesday, November 14th, King Charles will celebrate his 75th birthday with a party at Clarence House with his closest friends and family. And just last week, the Sunday Times reported that Harry had declined an invitation to the birthday party and was instead planning to stay at home in California. But today, Harry and Meghan's spokesperson confirmed that Harry and Meghan had no contact with Buckingham Palace regarding an invitation to King Charles's birthday party. They said there had been no contact regarding an invitation to Her Majesty's upcoming birthday. It is disappointing that the Sunday Times reported this story incorrectly. Then, some sources close to Meghan and Harry said the two were not invited to the party. And in fact, they were completely unaware of these plans. According to the source, they had received no invitation and were unaware of any celebrations until the stories were published. Okay, so was he invited or was he not invited? I think King Charles is relieved in any case. I mean, can you imagine your son turning on you like Harry did with his father? Such a betrayal. Personally, I think King invited Harry, but I don't think he invited Meghan. But it was a sort of formality, like when you ask someone how you are. The question was there in a polite way, and in this case the invitation was there, but I don't think they expected Harry to accept the invitation. And at this point, would they have wanted Harry to appear? Probably not. Harry has already made his choices in life. He didn't have to do or say the things he said or did. He must now live with the consequences of his behavior. I feel sorry for Charles, knowing what his son really thinks of him and the rest of the family. If Harry were my son, I would exclude him completely, and it looks like Harry is freaking out like a child again and trying to take a stand. Well, it's good for Charles that Harry declined the invitation. In the long run, this is probably not good for Harry because he will ultimately need the support of his family. Life is short and it is important to have, if possible, good relationships with your family. But then again, Harry wasn't there for his grandparents, so why would he be there to support his father? I can't imagine how terrible it is when both parties feel betrayed. One thing is certain, however. You will never get those years back. And in the end, remorse, resentment, and bitterness will prevail. Carlo extended the olive branch several times. Now it's Harry's turn to act like an adult, apologize to both of them and finally move on. Harry, you will never get those years back, and I think that's something you don't realize. I think if Harry showed up, William and Catherine probably wouldn't even show up. Not after Harry wrote that he was just one more helicopter crash away from the throne. At this point he poses a security threat, and I think there are so many restrictions on his visits that he couldn't really accept even if he was actually invited. And I can't help but wonder if he was invited or not. I don't think many people would like that, but then again, I can't see King Charles refusing to invite his son. And what happened to Harry saying he would do whatever it took to reconcile with his family? What a lie. I mean, he and Meghan are two hypocrites that I don't understand how anyone can call them friends unless they share the same mindset. But what will Harry do when this house of cards collapses on him? I mean, family, especially your siblings, is extremely important. It can disappear in the blink of an eye. I've already lost a brother to illness, and believe me when I say it's not a pain anyone wants to feel, although I think most people don't want to hear Harry's incessant complaining. He is entitled to his opinion. But he must deal with the repercussions of his decisions. And at this point, Harry needs to stop being so focused on the past, which has become detrimental to the present and future. It's also interesting because Harry and Meghan's fall from grace was entirely their fault. Now, obviously they still have a lot of money, but the way Meghan spends it, I don't think they'll have it for much longer. When it comes to work, neither of them are talented and would be lucky to find employment in the real world. Although I think Meghan would do at least a little better than Harry. At the heart of this problem is incredible immaturity. We see this happening in other families as well. These middle-aged children love to hurt their parents. Children begin to love their parents after judging them. They rarely, if ever, forgive them. Well, I think Harry and Meghan's biggest crisis hasn't arrived yet. One of two things is inevitable. Either the truth will come out, they don't have children, or their children will get a little older and want to move to the UK to join the family Harry and Meghan left behind. At this point I am convinced that the marriage is over and there is no way back for Harry. I mean, if their marriage doesn't end in divorce, I don't think Harry will ever come back to the UK. From all the photos we see, he seems uncomfortable and trapped. But at this point, I don't know if he could easily leave Meghan. I'm afraid I've told her too much, and boy, she'll sing like a bird to anyone willing to pay her a dime. However, one of the most unfortunate outcomes of this feud between William and Harry is that their children will never be able to spend time together as cousins. Again, assuming Harry and Meghan have children. I remember growing up with my cousins and they were some of my first best friends. It is important to have an extended family. And Charles at least tries to make peace with his son, but Harry isn't interested. I think the reality is that he was invited, but like a spoiled brat, he decided to say no. I think the luckiest are those who have families who never give up. These are the unfortunate people who are not invited and are simply forgotten by their families. I think King Charles has a lot of patience with his son. He realizes that Harry isn't thinking clearly right now. And he understands that Harry is easily influenced, to say the least. Now he is spoiled, but despite this, King Charles will never stop loving him. I mean, look how Thomas Markle still feels about his spoiled daughter. He still loves her, even after all the horrible things she did to him. It was also claimed on Sunday that Harry and the King still don't speak much. Well, presumably the lack of contact was caused by Charles's disappointment with Harry's portrayal of his wife, Queen Camilla, in the book Spare. The relationship has become very strained since he and Meghan left their roles as senior royals and moved to California. They have made numerous statements about their treatment by the palace, including the interview they did with Oprah and in Harry's book. Since then, Harry attended his father's coronation at Westminster Abbey in May, but despite this, his relationship with his father is not good. The royal family did not even publicly celebrate its birthday in September. A close source also claimed that Harry did not receive any personal wishes from his brother, Prince William, or his father, King Charles, which I find very hard to believe. They told The Telegraph, and the source said this could be because workaholic King Charles prefers to communicate by phone or letter rather than SMS and WhatsApp. But our source suggested there could be another reason. Charles felt disappointed and dismayed by Harry's description of Queen Camilla at the book fair. Harry also said that his stepmother was dangerous and evil and left dead bodies in the streets. The latter also comes as Scooby-Doo, Harry and Meghan's unofficial spokesperson, launched a truly heinous attack on the royal family in promotional materials for his new book. He said Prince William was power-hungry and King Charles was unpopular. It is described in the book as an in-depth investigation into the current state of the British monarchy, an unpopular king, a power-hungry heir to the throne, a queen willing to do anything to preserve her image and a prince forced to launch a new life after being betrayed by his own family. That's it for the video. Please share your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like and share with those interested. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button to stay updated with our latest content. Thanks for joining us, have a great day, and stay tuned for upcoming videos.